Welcome to my first November video, the original The Hand That Rocks the Cradle 1992, starring the brilliant and absolutely chilling Rebecca De Mornay, remains one of the most effective psychological thrillers of its era. It was elegant, intelligent, suspenseful, and anchored by a performance that could be both icy and strangely sympathetic. Nothing in that film was random. Every character motivation had shape, logic, and emotional tension. It is a film that understood timing, restraint, and the slow burn of psychological manipulation. Rebecca De Mornay's character felt real. That is why she was terrifying. You believe her charm, you believe her motives, you believe the surface, and then we arrive at the recent reinterpretation, which in my personal opinion is just trying to portray the nowadays modern family but can't compare to the original movie. It abandons logic and replaces tension with shock, juvenile humor, and random vulgarity that seems to exist just to provoke rather than to serve the story. For example, we are shown a husband who looks like a bum, totally unkempt, messy hair, disheveled appearance, sloppy clothing, yet somehow they live like millionaires. We never see him work. There is no sense of how this household survives financially. The wife appears to be the only functional adult in that home. In the original film, the marriage dynamic had structure. Here her husband rather believes the stranger than his own wife. You can see the lack of support from his part is upsetting and unbelievable. Then there are scenes that go beyond simply edgy and become unnecessarily distasteful, including a 10-year-old asking inappropriate questions, and a moment involving the sleuth friend sipping a tea and an extremely unhygienic object that has no place in a serious narrative. It is not suspense. It is not clever. It is simply gross. And that is not thriller filmmaking. It's sensationalism without purpose. Remakes do not have to copy the original line by line. Remakes can be brilliant if the core respect for the original themes remains. But in this case, the new version forgets why the original worked. Instead of intelligent suspense, we get chaos. Instead of character development, we get caricature. Instead of psychological tension, we get shock value for shock value's sake. In my view, this remake feels like the complete opposite spirit of the original, a project that dissipates all the elegance, subtlety, and narrative logic that made the 1992 film iconic. It left me disappointed, puzzled, and frankly amazed that sometimes filmmakers choose to take a masterpiece and then recreate it with none of its soul.
Dear viewers, the original from 1992 and the remake are streaming on Hulu. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned for my next video. Take care of yourselves and goodbye.